neither Ruben nor I knew how to, well, I knew how to play trumpet, but,
Kind of. Some of you judge my small groups, you know.
anyway, we did not know, I did not know how to play guitar, and I did not know how to play violin. So when we went to Las Vegas, we took the beginner mariachi course, and they taught you, I mean, it was like a beginning band course. I mean, I was sitting there sounding like the screechy violin that I hated to hear in college, and guitar, and then we got to try the vihuela guitar. We basically got to learn all of those instruments. And guitarrón happens to be my favorite. That's my instrument of choice. And we actually played. The first summer we were back after that, we asked our administrators to come over, and we had a community player. We had Mandy came and played, and her husband Todd, and trumpet, just so we had filled things out. And our superintendent's comment was the best. He said, "I love watching you guys struggle." But we've had a great time. You know, and it actually even did even more so for mariachi. But even when I'm teaching beginning band, it was a great reminder for me. You know, you got to, sometimes you just got to slow down. We know a lot more than sometimes those beginners do. But believe me, they taught us everything. They really did. And when we went back the second year, we went to the intermediate course, and so we could learn even more about some of the strummings, the techniques that the guitars use, and things like that. Did I miss anything yet? You're going on?
Great. So we this year we brought the 8th graders up to be freshmen. Most of the high school group you see are freshmen. Our 2 singers are seniors. We're going to miss them, obviously. You're going to find out we have 2 very aggressive singers coming up in the 8th grade class, so we're excited about that. We have a couple sophomores and a junior in there, but the bulk of that high school group is freshmen. So that's exciting for us because we're going to have them now for the next 3 years. It's going to cause a problem because if we keep adding 8th grade classes to them as they get to high school, the program grows and grows and grows. And we are limited by the number of instruments and the 2 of us. You know, we have 350 band students between the 2 of us, and you all who are band directors know our time is precious. And we didn't think we'd have time to do this, but we knew. We knew it was right. It was the right thing. I was in an Iowa Core session yesterday, and Leon Keener, who I thought I saw here, was in there, and he said something about how there was no money to do this, and no one's paid, but they did it because it was the right thing to do for kids. And that struck a note with me because that's exactly what we did. We didn't know if we had time. We don't, and a lot of you don't have time. But we knew it was the right thing to do for our community and the right thing for our kids. And so we told our superintendent, we're going to make this happen. It's going to happen, and we're going to find a way to do it. Luckily, we have very supportive administration in our district. Supportive of us, who said, yeah, we have faith in you. You can take the dive off the deep end, and then we'll come out okay on the other side. And these instruments up here were all school purchase instruments. They paid for our training for 2 years. Some of you got to meet our superintendent, Mike Pardun, at IBA. We brought our high school principal, Lynn Torr, here today, and he's going to talk a little bit later. But I want to say thank you, with Lynn here especially, to our administration for being supportive and taking that leap of faith with us to provide this for our community. This is our new group of beginners. They started this last October, and they're going to play 2 short tunes for you. There's a beginner method, and that's one of the... We went into our summer of Las Vegas with a lot of the same misconceptions that a lot of you sitting out there have. I knew nothing about mariachi. I knew that sometimes I go to a Mexican restaurant, and there's an out-of-tune trumpet and a cruddy guitar player. My parents were just, my mother kept asking if they were maracas in a mariachi. Innocently. And we get that a lot, and we understand because we didn't know anything about mariachi. And again, Marcia said, don't worry about it. We will provide that for you. And they did. So one of the misconceptions that we got when we got there, in your head, and talking to people this weekend even, you hear a lot of, well, they learn by rote. It's folk music. And that's the misconception we had going to Las Vegas, and that could not have been any more off base. In fact, Marcia is a part author of a beginner method book, I guess you call it, called Simplemente Mariachi. And it's the one we bought for our kids, and it is like a beginner band book. It teaches you note by note. It has exercises for the full group. We started splitting violins and guitars, and then when they got to a certain point, we put them together. But the book's written that you could have the entire mariachi there, teaching them to play their instrument.
Like a beginning band.
I mean, it's like a beginning band book. Along with that book came a supplemental book full of short tunes that said, once you've reached lesson 5, you can play this song. So it spelled it all out. We knew if we reached this lesson, we could play this song and this other supplementary book. So we're going to have these guys. We named the high school mariachi Mariachi Reyes del Oeste because we're in western Iowa. Our mascot is the Monarchs, so Reyes del Oeste means Kings of the West. So that's how we picked our name. That name is sticking. We've decided to let the 8th grade group pick their name. Last year it was Mariachi Picoso, which means spicy. Hello? Spicy. This group is Mariachi Suerte. It means luck. I don't know if they think they've got luck or they need luck. This is Mariachi Suerte. So we're going to play 2 short tunes for you. The first one is called The Swallow.